All right. Hello, everybody. We are now in the market close. We have 15 minutes until the market is going to close. Let me share this out to the Twitter sphere and see what's going on. The market's obviously tanked. Everyone's scared about this FOMC thing that's happening in like 24 hours, basically. And it's spooking out the markets. As we can see, Spotify, $98. Tesla is the only one that's stayed high and continued to keep going. So Tesla, you have 309, AMD 75, S&P 385. Basically was it where it was in the morning. Nothing too different. Nothing changed too crazy. Nick bought more DNA and CLSK today. Awesome. I now have 1,000 shares of DNA. I'm pretty bullish. I'm excited. I just did a video about them, obviously. Joel, what's up? Yeah, I like the company, man. I'm really excited to cover them. Lots of interesting stuff going on there. SoFi below $6, Apple $157, Adobe getting hit even more, $293, Google $101, AMC at $8, down right below $9. Tesla is the only thing that has stayed on this market. Rumble, I don't know who bought this back. It's down 23%, obviously, because we probably shouldn't be buying the SPAC. I just tweeted on Twitter, live market open. It's supposed to be market close. I always think this is the market open when it's not. I don't know why. I just think it is. Market red, just like my bank account after all this buying. Yeah, I did some buying. I think these are the days to buy, man. The days to buy are not the green days. The days to buy are the days where things are rough. I bought some Google as well. DNA CEO seems strange to me. How does he seem safe to you, but Elon doesn't seem strange to you? Like, Elon's out here knocking up his coworkers, and the DNA CEO is strange to you. Interesting. How much money do you make from YouTube? Not enough. YouTube does not pay enough. Sam, thank you for correcting me on that. But yeah, I am excited for Ginkgo Bioworks and DNA. NVIDIA had their big event today. They released like some new computer thing. I know ticker symbol U was covering it. 132 on NVIDIA. Rumble again down 23%. Rumble is trading at a 70 on the RSI, close to it. I wouldn't touch Rumble. I mean, I don't know what institutions bought Rumble today. If they SPAC'd at like $10 or something. Let me look up some information on that. What's the Rumble SPAC looking like? Rumble SPAC. Here we go. Let's look at this. Let's read the Bloomberg article. And I pay for Bloomberg, so you guys get to read what I have to say. Okay. Peter Thiel-backed video platform Rumble starts trading after SPAC deal. Rumble is a growing number of conservative media sites. Rumble, the conservative video network backed by billionaire Peter Thiel, became a blank traded company Monday through a deal with a blank check firm that will value the business more than $2 billion. Wow. Their market cap is now $400 million, so it's not $2 billion anymore. The shares rose as much as 40%. I'm curious how they got $2 billion. The merger will deliver $400 million in proceeds. The company, which changes the ticker to RUM, is one of a growing number of alternative media sites tracking new users as the U.S. political divisions intensifies. Other conservative apps, Parler, Getter, Donald Trump's Truth Social, have all been downloaded millions of times globally. Makes sense. People want different alternatives. Rumble was founded in 2013, but its video sharing service didn't really take off until recently. The 2020 election and its aftermath, some conservatives grew frustrated with content moderation policies on YouTube, basically. They said unfairly restricted them. In the month of August, Rumble's monthly app installs surged by 250%, pushing the company's total installations to 7 million downloads. Wow. Competing apps have been installed for about 11 minutes. So Rumble has 7 million downloads on the app servers. Is DNA that secret biotech stock? No, the biotech stock I owned before DNA. Remember, DNA is a platform. It's not a drug company. I have a drug company called Purple Biotech that I don't talk about that has a molecule called NT219, and if successful, it's going to be worth a lot of money. But that's like a super long-term play. I've had it since 2020. And so I have like 20 grand in there. But I've had 20 grand in there since 2020, so it's just been there for a while. So yeah, Rumble plans to use some of the proceeds from its SPAC deal to build more creators on its platform and attract a larger audience. The platform now features daily live shows. But the company has plans to create its own cloud service and move this is actually very interesting. If they can get off of AWS, there's a big market there because there's going to be a lot of alternative media companies that don't want to have to deal with GCP, Azure, or AWS. Trump said it had joined Rumble's ad platform as its first publisher. The company is also a potential early customer for Rumble's future cloud offering. So Truth Social would run on the cloud from Rumble, not on AWS. I think that's a decent business opportunity. We create technologies that are designed to be immune to cancel culture because everyone benefits when people have access to more ideas and diverse opinions. Rumble wrote in its filing, we are on a mission to protect a free and open internet. For Thiel, known much for his investments in Facebook and Palantir, as for political support Donald Trump, Rumble's a sign that its long-held ambition to launch a conservative news network is taking shape. Interesting. So I'm going to see that link. Thiel co-led an investment in the company last year with VC firm Naraya Capital. Naraya, based in Cincinnati, named after Ring and Lord of the Rings books, is also backed by Thiel and led by one of his business associates, Colin Greenspan, in Ohio, JD Vance. Interesting. Very interesting here. Did you see Chamath cancel his SPACs? Yes, I did. Chamath, what's up, Ahad? Chamath is letting go of his SPACs. Give me 1 second, guys. Sorry, there was like really weird yelling outside. I was like, what is going on? Okay, you heard that, right, Tristan?
Yeah, it was screaming.
That was weird, right?
Is that in the...
It was out in the lobby. Someone was screaming. I just wanted to make sure our door was closed. I was like, what is going on?
Yeah, our door's locked.
It's like I'm not opening that. Great DNA bait. Thank you for that.
Are we screaming? I think it's fine, don't worry.
Who's yelling? Some people outside in the apartment lobby. They're just yelling. This is weird. Amit has someone kidnapped. No, I don't. Is that some sort of domestic? I hope not, bro. Sheesh. It sounded like a couple that was having a fight. You probably can't hear it, but I don't think Palantir runs their cloud. Yeah, they wouldn't use Palantir. Palantir doesn't do compute. That's what Rumble's trying to do, so they wouldn't use Palantir for that. Condo drama. But they would be using other services. So that's interesting. Rumble. Now, I wouldn't buy Rumble because, I mean, first of all, it's a SPAC. Second of all, it's like conservative media. I don't know if that's a big enough a draw to take on big tech. Like YouTube has 2 billion people, right? Rumble can get a lot of users, and I think they have 150 million monthly hits on their website. Let's actually go to their traffic right now. Let's do it. But I don't know if it's like, if you're investing in it, you're thinking of some long-term potential, right? There has to be some long-term potential. And I don't know if there's that much long-term. This is what the website looks like, by the way. You guys can see it, right? Can you guys see that? Yeah, you guys can. Let's just put it right here. Okay, you guys should see that. So that's what Rumble looks like. As you can see, the UI is not that exciting. Does that door go to the dungeon? No dungeon here. So as you can see, I mean, look at the UI. I mean, it's pretty simple. It's not that amazing for a company that goes public. Like, even the text on the screen, the font is like New York Times or so. It's like a basic font. This is, I guess, what their real value is: video hosting, video exchange, video player. But content is kind of the name of the game, right? So let's go to their traffic. Let's see this here. This is, are you in the hood? I'm actually not in the hood. The apartment costs money that would justify not being in the hood. But it is in an area that's a little bit more city-ish. So you could argue there is some hood vibes to it, but it's not the hood. So this is Rumble's traffic. This is a website called similarweb.com. As you can see, they get about 86 million people per month. That's up from 68 million. This was in July. So we don't have August, September data. But this is what they had last month. I have the app on my phone. It's trash. Yeah, it's not good, right, Joel? Like, it's not just me. It looks like YouTube in 2011. That is exactly what that's a great comment, Ari. It's exactly what I thought. It looks like YouTube in 2011. Like, I was thinking about it the other day. I was like, look, my startup does not have the best UI, but that's because it's 2 people and we don't have hundreds of millions of dollars of funding. Rumble raised hundreds of millions and they're public now. How is there? It just proves that users don't care as much about UI versus functionality. But maybe it's just a use case for conservatives because conservative people just wanted a platform. They don't care if the platform is that like beautiful. But it is very interesting, bro. I look at the company and I'm like, how do they go public? Why are people trying to compete with YouTube or Vimeo? I feel like they have a video platform on lock. Yeah, I competing with YouTube doesn't make sense to me in the context of video. I think Vimeo also tried to do that, and then they became into a hosting service versus an actual content platform. I think if you're going to compete with YouTube on video, you've got to do what TikTok does, which is like have a totally differentiated way for content to be searched or discovered, or kind of do something like what my startup is doing, which is go the audio route, which is saying, okay, discovery of YouTube content is amazing, but could we do that for a different medium? But I think if you're going to straight up make another YouTube, it's difficult, man. From a video perspective, it's incredibly difficult. And now I think someone should definitely try because YouTube needs competition. The fact that they haven't gotten rid of those spammers in the comments, we know they need competition. Google, by the way, at all-time lows was 152. But, I guess we'll see. It would just be hard to imagine. Spotify kind of tried to compete with them. Spotify has video podcasts. And did Google invest in Rumble? No. You should do a video for the bear scenario for DNA. I'll probably do that. I mean, the bear case is just that a lot of the drugs don't work on their platform or their biosecurity revenue goes down, but I'll do that as well. Vimeo has higher upload limits, so the quality is much better. Yeah. The thing about Spotify is they tried to do video podcasts, and the problem is I don't know if people watch podcasts on Spotify. Outside of Joe Rogan, I don't know who sits on their Spotify app and stares at 2 people talk, right? It's a very specific YouTube type of feeling. And it's specifically a clip usually that people do. Now, maybe people watch videos on Spotify, maybe, I guess. But again, it really doesn't matter if your video's on Spotify or on any app unless it has the potential to get algorithmically curated and discovered. That's literally all that matters. That's actually all that matters. So it doesn't really matter if the video is there. It matters how it's treated. All right, we are about 40 seconds away from the market close. So everyone get ready. There is a bell. If you do not know what we do on this channel, we ring the bell. PBD is a great podcast. I agree. Meghan Markle. Bro, who's listening to Meghan Markle talk, my guy? I mean, what is the source of financing cash flow with DNA share ensues? How much are they? They raised $1.6 billion when they went public a year ago. So they have $1.4 billion in cash. So they do not need to dilute shareholders. So I was so pissed when Joe left the tube. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think Joe might come back one day. Please, for the love of God, get a new bell. Chris Patel is here. Chris, this is going to be for you in 10 seconds on September 20th, 2022. The stock market is officially closed. I forgot I'm in an apartment, and there's probably a bunch of people in the apartment that hear that at 4 p.m. every day and like, what the fuck is going on? Anyway, stock market is closed. Tesla ending at 308. Open Door getting shellacked by that Bloomberg article, 356. Meta 150, 146. DNA 294 was at a high about 306 today. I now have 1,000 shares of that company. So I'm in there. Tesla at 308. Spotify 97. AMD 75, FedEx 16 or 162, Amazon 122. Everything went down today. Nothing too crazy, but went down. Microsoft also at 242, now trading. Microsoft has a $1.8 trillion market cap. Goodness. I happily do a celebrity boxing match with Chris Patel over the couch. I love how you spelled Chris. I turned my sound off. You sound way smarter now, admit. How do you not like the bell? Understanding, I was looking at their financials and I was curious about the 1.5 billion under. Yeah, they raised it from going public, so they have enough cash and finances to operate for the next 5 years, at even taking a loss. So, Chris and me should debate on DNA. Chris, I'm so ready to debate you on DNA. Let's do it. Let's absolutely do it, bro. Kelly's in the chat. How many Google shares did you buy today? Okay, so Kelly, I saw your tweet. I didn't get to respond to it yet, but Kelly bought 20 shares of Google today. I bought one. Kelly spent like $2,000. I spent 100, but I spent most. I spent $1,000 on DNA today. So I bought like 500 shares. So I spent $1,500 actually. So I spent kind of the same amount as you, just on a different stock, not Googs. Look, I don't want to go heavy into Googs because I do see it coming below 100, and that's when I want to load up more. But yeah, Kelly's out here balling. So. Echoes, sup folks, I come in peace today. Echoes, you came in the morning stream in the chat. Not everyone was going at you. There's just one person who said something to you, but not everyone was going at you. Saving money for my Vegas trip with my wife makes sense. Gonna sit back and watch like a good boy. You can talk, Echoes. It's not a big deal. How much Bitcoin did you buy today? I have not. So Kelly said she bought Microsoft. Okay, I don't know if Microsoft's the best buy here. Microsoft is at a $1.8 trillion market cap. Granted, cloud computing, I think, Kelly, if you're buying it, you're probably bullish on cloud computing because it is such a big market that has so much opportunity. I'm just thinking of Microsoft. What was their all-time high? Their all-time high was 349. So they were at a well above a $2 trillion, probably like a 2.5 trillion. Yeah, I don't know. They have to get that Activision deal to go through. I would have bought Meta over Microsoft, but Meta is just everything around Meta and their publicity is just like, there was a report came out yesterday, Instagram Reels suck. The Wall Street Journal was like, no one watches Instagram Reels, which makes sense because I'm posting Reels and goodness gracious, they're not getting it. Like, it's Instagram Reels is so annoying. Like, TikTok is so much better than them. But I don't know. We'll see. 250, I load the Tesla boat. Oh, by the way, guys, I should probably announce I sold my one share of Tesla today to buy more DNA. I made like a $30 profit. I was like, bet I'm taking these $30. Joel's probably cringing right now hearing me say this. But yeah, I was like, look, if I'm not building out the Tesla position, why do I have it? And so I sold it. Now, granted, if it goes lower, which it would be nice to see it at 250, I'm all in. I'm back in. But I'm not going to buy it at 309. You are not getting me to buy Tesla at $300. There's just no way. There's no way. So I was like, forget it. There's no point to even have it. Admit you're a joke. Yeah, Joel is so mad. No, it's not that I'm not a true believer, guys. I had one share. So my point, I was just looking at that money like, why should I have one share when I could have 100 shares of another company? And also the 100 shares of the other company that I think is going to double way quicker than Tesla. I think I get a 10 billion on DNA way quicker than I get a 2 trillion on Tesla. Granted, I think when we're in for the market rally, Tesla's going to run. I just think it might go lower before, and that's when I load up again. Like, I think I'll get an opportunity to buy again in 270, 280. I could be wrong, and if I'm wrong, then I'm wrong, but whatever. You sold your one share of Tesla, yeah. Because also I wasn't DCAing on Tesla. So I was like, if I'm not going to buy more, I'd rather put that money to something else. Like, that would have been better. I'm a Tesla bull, so I'm not adding to my position. Yeah. That's why you buy over 1K, so you get excited. Yeah, that's true. That is true. $300 would turn into 30K. All right, Joel, relax. Long-term investor. You Kathy Woods, your Tesla, basically. Yo, she sold 68K of Spotify yesterday, bro. She only has 220,000 left in one of the funds. Also, by the way, Spotify introduced audiobooks today. So if you want to listen to your audiobook, you can go on Spotify. You can't buy the audiobook on the app, though, because they don't want Apple to take a 30% cut. So they're forcing you to buy it on your browser. So you can either pay $15 to Audible and get unlimited books, or you can pay Spotify for a book. This market really didn't care about that announcement. I've got a boring company for you to check out, Amit. Definitely send it, Echoes. Let's look at it. Amit, I hope you're right, but you're wrong. Amit, my offer to kick you in the nuts in lieu of you losing money on DNA is still available. Chris, I think you're wrong on this, bro. I really think you're wrong on this. I genuinely think you are so wrong on this. Like, I don't think you get it, bro. One short report has got you fucking losing your shit without like actually understanding what they do. But you can do whatever you want, Chris. I think you're wrong on this one. I think you're fundamentally wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. But even if I'm wrong on the bull case of the company at this valuation, I do not think I'm wrong, bro. Like, I really don't think I'm wrong on this one. It's also a question of if you believe in a future in which genomic sequencing happens. If you don't believe in that future, then you're not gonna like ginkgo biology. You're not gonna like any synthetic biology. If you believe in that future, then I think there's a big opportunity there. It's about what you believe in at the end of the day. That is what matters. Okay. It's boring and paid dividends. All right, let me know. Amit, I'm driving up to New Jersey, just slap you in the face. Go ahead. Let's look at what the talking heads are saying. What do we have? Oh yeah, we gotta listen to this, bro. Beyond Meat, the COO bit a man's nose yesterday. This was incredibly interesting. Let's listen to this.
Is down over 70% year to date, trading below its IPO price of $25 a share. The company said has had a rough go this year, which was supposed to be a really big one for partnerships with QSRs, McDonald's, and Yum Brands, the parent of KFC, Pizza Hut, and Taco Bell. Now, to be fair, it has had tests with KFC of its plant-based nuggets and with McDonald's of the McPlant burger, but those tests have ended as planned. Last week, McDonald's CEO Chris Kempczinski seemed to imply that sales of the McPlant were soft, as analysts had projected while giving a talk in Chicago. He mentioned that items that don't sell as well don't stay on the menu, broadly speaking, and ended with this. Take a listen.
If you want McPlant, I would tell you, buy McPlant.
Now, last quarter, CEO Ethan Brown said progress for the company was taking longer than expected. They cut workforce with layoffs and also cut their guidance. Inflation has been weighing on it, with customers going to private label plant-based meat or traditional meat due to prices, even though the company is continuing to work toward price parity, Brian.
All right, Kate, while you are here, we want to get to the other Beyond Meat headline, and this is certainly not one every day. And I know people have been having fun with it. The reality is it's somebody got hurt. All right, so you don't want to make too light of it. The COO of Beyond Meat, 30-year Tyson food executive, apparently got into an altercation driving home from a college football game. I guess there's not only punches thrown, but apparently he bit the guy's nose.
That's right, Brian. COO of Beyond Meat, Doug Ramsey, was arrested over the weekend for allegedly biting a man's nose after an altercation following a college football game in Arkansas. He was charged with terroristic threatening and third-degree battery. The Washington County, Arkansas information page says that he was booked Saturday night and released on Sunday. Beyond Meat did not respond to multiple requests for comment from CNBC, nor has Ramsey.
Bro, I wouldn't respond to requests either. What would you say? Imagine you're a company and CNBC calls you and they're like, hey, we heard your chief operating officer, one of the highest level C-suite executives of the company, bit a man's nose yesterday. And you're a company that creates biologically synthetic meat, which means you don't want to eat other mammals. Bro, that's wild. My dude was tired of fake meat, wanted to bite into some real meat, couldn't resist the urge. Hey, man, this is what happens with the vegan revolution. Look at Beyond Meat, $16. I remember this was stock at $239 in 2019. 2021, it was at $183. I remember Beyond Meat, just looking at it a while ago. I haven't looked at it in a while, but this news story came out yesterday. They have a market cap of $1 billion. Well, I mean, it's beyond something. He was bloodthirsty for some meats. Those vegan diets affect your mental health. I know Mike Tyson said he probably was trying to be Mike Tyson. Traces of human nose in the burgers. Bro, this is insane. This is insane. I've never had an Impossible Burger, by the way. Has anyone had one? I've never had one. I had an opportunity to have. I was with my friend, bro, at a restaurant in 2019 in Hoboken, and he's a vegan or he's a vegetarian, and we were at this burger. What was it called? It's called Bear Burger, and they had an Impossible Burger option, and then they had a regular burger option. And he's like, "Bro, do you want to try the Impossible Burger?" And I looked him dead in the face, and I was like, "I do not want to try the Impossible Burger. I want to enjoy my meal." And he was kind of upset because he wanted me to try it. I was like, bro, if I'm gonna spend $20, I want to eat a good meal. Like, but I should try it one day. I haven't tried it one day. I haven't tried it yet. Beyond isn't impossible. They're different. Are they? Are they actually different? Or are they just the same thing? Open Door 350. Man, everything's Tesla's the only thing that stood up so far. Amazon is down. Ark 41. Let's look at Ark buys yesterday. Ark buys and sells. Let's look at that yesterday. Let's go to that. By the way, guys, I made a new Twitter account called SoFi. What did I call it? SoFi Today. It's a top 3 holding now for me, along with DNA and Palantir. So if you want to follow that, check that out. Also, all my SoFi audio content stuff that's not going to be on YouTube is on my audio app in the description below. Please sign up for it. Let me know what you guys think about it. Lots of SoFi and Ginkgo Bioworks audio content there. But the account is called SoFi Today, and we're covering SoFi every single day. Hey, Amit, how are you, brother? Aaron, I'm so happy you're excited. Thank you for being here. Okay, so she bought 100K Viray Therapeutics, 52,000 Intellia Therapeutics, 400,000 Ginkgo Bioworks in the main fund, and she sold Signify Health 401,000. Bought General Motors, very interesting. Sold Spotify 68,000. She bought 22,000 of Adobe, which actually makes sense to me. Buying Adobe at this level, I mean, you can't say it's not you can't say it's not cheap. The market is probably overreacted to the Figma stuff. She sold another 254,000 of Signify, so she's probably getting out of that position. And she purchased another 600,000 of Ginkgo Bioworks. So another million in Ginkgo and selling out some of the other positions as well. Mitt, why aren't you holding any more space companies? Isn't space a trend for the future? I'm bullish on Rocket Labs. So I've heard about Rocket Labs. I've really never dug deep into them. I've heard about them a lot, right? Let's go to their thing. I don't know. Space has been exciting for me, but it's never been like something super like I'm passionate about. So when they went public in 2020, reached a high of 21, down to 353. Their 52-week low is 353. Okay, so they're just above 52-week low. Market cap is $2 billion. Price to sales is 17. See, like I would want to know what justifies that price to sales. I also don't know how they make. I have no idea how they make money. They probably do through some commercial space flights, right? I just don't know, so I can't say anything bad about it. Really, just don't know anything. I know people are fans of Rocket Labs, though. They're fans of the company. I just personally have not looked into it. Okay, let's see what else we've got on the talking heads. So the Fed tomorrow is going to either crash the market or the market's going to be baked in. I kind of think the market's going to bake it in and we're going to rally tomorrow. I kind of think that's going to happen, but let's see. Okay, we got Josh Brown. He's talking some good stuff about why we're going to rally. So if we need some hopium, let's take a look at what he's saying. Government contracts. Okay. Satellites. That works. That makes sense.
So Josh Brown, nothing like an earnings warning to get in the way of your bullish call for stocks. Is that the culprit? Just take us through that for those who didn't hear it. You told me yesterday about 2:30 in the afternoon, market set up for a rip your face off rally, both into and out of the Fed meeting. Market actually took off into the close yesterday, but here we are after Ford. Is that the culprit?
No, nobody cares about Ford. Listen, here's what I want you to pay attention to. By the way, I think we're in a bear market still, no matter what happens, until that changes technically. That's just where I am. But I think that we're set up for a face-ripping rally here, more so than we're set up for more of what we're seeing today. And here's where my conviction comes from. The VIX just can't get excited. You have the 2-year has done the Fed's job for it. It's there. It's at 4%. It was at 397 yesterday, 4% today. Like, that's the thing. That's what it had to do. That's where it is. That's what financial conditions now are based on. We're there. We did that work. It took all year. It was torture. It was very painful for a lot of sectors of the market, but we've done that. Take a look at what's happening with the internals today versus the last time we had this spike in yields and a rough stock market. Today looks nothing like mid-June. Right now, you're looking at 13% of S&P 500 stocks at a 52-week low. In mid-June, it was 40%. This is a very different situation. Look at a percentage of stocks above the 200-day, meaning stocks in a defined uptrend. 26% are in an uptrend. If you go back to June 16th, it was 13%, almost nothing in an uptrend. This is a very different tape. Puts a call ratio now 54% versus about 86% then. The fear, the volatility is just not there. Nothing like the last time we were at these levels, which leads me to believe, as hawkish as we think the Fed will be, and they should, that's their job right now, I just don't think the market has enough fear in it. And I just don't think we're going to get the same kind of reaction we got last time. And stocks are sniffing that out right now, and that's where I believe we're set up.
Steph, you want to opine on that? Because I would love your take as well.
Well, okay, so the rates have been rising all year, and yet the S&P 500 is down 19%. So it is a struggle for equities when bond yields go higher, and bond yields are going higher. I know we're all focused on tomorrow. Do they go 75? Do they go 100? It doesn't matter. Rates are going higher.
Are bond yields going higher than where they are now? I think is a critical question. Or to Josh's point, it's kind of maybe this is where they top out.
Oh,
Fed can continue to do what they do, but does that necessarily mean that
no, I think
rates continue to go up?
I think rates have to go a lot higher. Inflation is not an easy fix. And we know we have not only inflation here, but globally. Did you see Germany's inflation numbers yesterday? You saw Sweden raised rates by 100 basis points because they're behind the curve. So for years and years, we had central bankers that were easy across every country, right? Now it's quite the opposite. And that is a big, big tailwind for equities, for risk assets. I kind of agree with Cooperman today.
Headwind.
Excuse me, headwind.
I agree with you that it is.
Headwind, right. But I kind of agree with Cooperman, what he said today. So the market is kind of struggling. It's a challenge. I agree with that. But there are stocks to be found, right? I have a whole list to buy, right? And that I have been adding to on the weakness because I am a long-term investor. I'm not making money in these things right now.
It's harder to find those names. I mean, in fairness, it's not easy to go out and find a lot of names that are so super attractive today. I mean, he also painted a picture of which the market is not exactly cheap.
No, the market is not cheap, but Schlumberger is cheap. John Deere is cheap. Bank of America is almost at 1x book. That's cheap. Starbucks, I mean, I loved what they had to say. They're at trough earnings. Numbers are going higher. I mean, that's rare. Dollar General is cheap. So there's a lot of names out there that I can find. Do they get cheaper? They probably do. But I think for the long term, they're gaining market share. They've got.
I agree with exactly what she's saying. Like, do they get cheaper? Yes, they do. But for the long term, it's still a nice time. Like, does Google get cheaper than this? Does Microsoft get cheaper than this? Probably. But for the long term, to start the position, like, you can never find that perfect moment to start the position. So at one point, you got to start, right? You can't kick yourself in the head if you get Google at 101 and then Google drops to 94. It's like, all right, then you get some more at 94, right? And you get an average of 97. Like, it's just, I mean, at some level, you got to just make the decision and go with it. Well, that's pretty much it. Ford is, the last thing I want to say, Ford is down 12%. They lost $7 billion off their market cap today. I don't know what necessarily caused it to happen for Ford, but Ford got hit pretty tough today. Airbnb down about 1% today. Nothing else that crazy, but yeah, it is what it is. This was our market. Tomorrow's going to be the big day. Tomorrow we are going to find out what happens, and really we're going to find out how the market reacts to the Fed and if we get 75 or not. Can someone tell me what happened to Ford? Honestly, I don't even know. I feel like analysts today were just like, Ford is not our friend, and they've let Tesla keep going. Been calling out the housing market for the last year. Chris, that is correct. I'll give you credit on that. You actually have been doing that. Cost of revenue went up. Did Ford have earnings today? Is that what happened? Like, why? Or am I wrong on this? Oh, hold on. Oh, they did a profit warning. Ford now anticipates third quarter adjusted earnings before interest and taxes to come between 1.4 and 1.7 billion. They give a pre-warning, kind of like Snapchat did a month ago, as it expects inflationary pressures to add about $1 billion to previously expected supplier costs. So it's causing them a lot more money to get their profits, and that's why people are upset. Crossroads says you get to buy anyway. Record house sale. Yeah, I mean, the house my parents bought in 2020 in December, it's like up almost 150 grand in value. It's insane. But it doesn't make sense to sell it unless we were going to live in an apartment, because if we have to buy another house to live somewhere, it's just going to be that much more expensive. So it's like, unless you sell something and you're literally just like chilling and you're not trying to buy another house, taking the profit is a bit harder in this situation. Ford is losing money on every car they sell. Most companies are going to report harder earnings. Well, this is the Jeremy Grantham thesis, that the price to earnings of the market is going to compress as corporate profits decrease. Big tech earnings last July proved that's not the case, because Apple put up 83 billion, Google put up 70 billion, Facebook put up 28 billion, Amazon put up 121 billion. Like, the numbers were just ridiculous. It was ridiculous. And now we got to see if that continues. It doesn't look like it's not going to continue because the guidance was the way it was. But if we have a real macroeconomic headwind, then, you know, it'll be bad. But I just don't know if we hit a crazy bear market in this next 3 months. I think the market's baking the 75. I don't think we get 100. And then the market's just like, all right, 75, and we're moving on. This is why Tesla is so cheap right now, Amit. The writing is on the wall to buy Tesla stock. All right, Joel, Ford can lose money on every car they sell, but that does not mean a $950 billion market cap company is cheap. It's just, you could argue it's a great company. I don't know if you want to argue it's cheap. Like, that's my only thing with Tesla. I don't think it's cheap right now. I think long term it's super undervalued, but I'm not looking to hold Tesla for 10 years necessarily. I'm looking to get a 2x within 2 to 3 years. That would be awesome. I don't know if I get that quickly with Tesla. Maybe not. Legacy Automotive will go bankrupt or get acquired. I don't think they go bankrupt. I do think they get acquired. I think some of them transform. For example, I don't think Honda or Toyota is going bankrupt. I think they will offer more competition. Do I think they're going to beat Tesla? Obviously not. I just think it's not necessarily the cheapest right now to buy. I wouldn't buy the other automotives though. Like, I wouldn't buy them in case. Those are tech companies though, right? But production companies are going to hurt. Just look at Target. They're fire selling all their stuff because of oversupply. Yeah, that is true. It's going to be interesting to see Walmart and Home Depot earnings and Target and all that stuff in a little bit as well. Big tech earnings, I think we get in like 3 weeks. So we're going to see how it goes. No. We get them in November. We get them in November. Yeah. Q3 earnings usually happen around mid-November. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate it. Please check out the app in the description. It would mean the world to me if you join the Market Close and you check out my startup. We're doing a lot of new stuff with it, a lot of new designs, lots of new stuff coming. So far, let me give you some stats on it. So far today, because I can update it in real time. So far, we have had about 42 hours of audio streamed on the platform today. We've had 217 listens. A listens is when you listen to an audio for 60 seconds. And we've had over 90 different audios listened to today. So awesome stuff. Please check it out in the description. Let me know what you guys think. Thank you so much for being here. Another video coming out in probably 30 minutes. And I'll see you on Late Night Stock Talks tonight at around 10 p.m., where we will discuss everything that happened today. And Kelly will probably be there and we'll probably argue in the chat. That's probably what's going to happen today. All right, everybody. Thank you. Bye-bye.